The birth of Jesus Christ is one of the most significant events in human history, celebrated by billions of people around the world every year. While the Nativity story is a well-known part of the Christian tradition, there are still many fascinating details and mysteries surrounding the events that took place over 2,000 years ago in Bethlehem. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Christmas story is the appearance of the Magi, the mysterious wise men who traveled from afar to pay homage to the newborn king. The account of the Magi's visit is found in the Gospel of Matthew, the first book of the New Testament. Matthew provides us with the only biblical record of these enigmatic figures and the pivotal role they played in the early life of Jesus. Though the details are sparse, the Magi's journey has captured the imagination of believers and scholars alike, sparking countless sermons, paintings, and retellings over the centuries. So who exactly were these Magi, and what can we learn about them from the biblical text? The Gospel of Matthew describes them as wise men from the east who came to Jerusalem, inquiring about the birth of the King of the Jews. Guided by a mysterious star, they eventually found the Christ child and presented him with three symbolic gifts: gold, frankincense, and myrrh. The term Magi is derived from the ancient Persian word magus, which referred to a class of Zoroastrian priest scholars. These learned men were often considered experts in fields such as astronomy, astrology, and the interpretation of dreams. They wielded significant social and political influence in the ancient Near East, advising kings and nobility on important matters. While the Magi are commonly depicted as three kings, the Bible does not actually specify their number or royal status. Matthew simply refers to them as wise men without providing any further details about their identities or backgrounds. The tradition of the three kings, known as the three wise men or the three kings, likely emerged in the 6th century AD and was solidified in Western Christianity by the 8th century. So where did these Magi come from, and what motivated them to undertake such a long and perilous journey to Bethlehem? The Gospel of Matthew states that they came from the east, but doesn't provide any further geographical information. Some scholars believe they may have originated from Persia, Mesopotamia, or even Arabia, regions known for their advanced astronomical knowledge and traditions of astrology. One popular theory is that the Magi were members of a Zoroastrian priestly caste from Persia, modern-day Iran. Zoroastrianism was one of the dominant religions in the ancient Near East, and its adherents were known for their reverence of the heavens and their belief in the imminent arrival of a savior figure. The Magi's interest in the new King of the Jews may have been sparked by their own messianic expectations and astrological observations. Another possibility is that the Magi came from Babylon, which was a center of astronomical and astrological learning in the ancient world. The Babylonians had a long tradition of closely observing the skies and interpreting celestial phenomena as signs of important events on Earth. It's possible that the Magi detected an unusual astronomical occurrence, such as the appearance of a bright star or comet, and interpreted it as a portent of the birth of a significant figure. Regardless of their precise origins, the Magi's journey to Bethlehem was no small feat. The distance from Persia or Mesopotamia to the Judean capital of Jerusalem would have been roughly 800 to 900 miles, a trek that would have taken weeks or even months to complete. This was a time before paved roads, reliable maps, or modern modes of transportation. The Magi would have faced numerous challenges along the way, including harsh weather, rugged terrain, and the ever-present threat of bandits and wild animals. Yet, driven by their desire to pay homage to the newborn king, the Magi persevered. Matthew's Gospel tells us that upon arriving in Jerusalem, they inquired about the whereabouts of the King of the Jews, causing quite a stir in the royal court of Herod the Great. Herod, a ruthless and insecure ruler, was deeply disturbed by the Magi's questions, fearing that a rival to his throne had been born. Summoning the chief priests and scribes, Herod demanded to know where the Messiah was to be born. The religious authorities consulted the Hebrew scriptures and determined that the prophesied Messiah would be born in Bethlehem, the city of David. Herod then secretly met with the Magi and instructed them to search diligently for the child, promising to worship him as well. However, Herod's true intention was to eliminate this perceived threat to his power. Guided by the mysterious star, the Magi eventually found the young Jesus and his parents, Mary and Joseph, in Bethlehem. Falling to their knees, the wise men worshipped the child and presented him with their symbolic gifts. Gold, a precious metal fit for a king, symbolized Jesus' royal status. Frankincense, a fragrant resin used in religious rituals, pointed to his divine nature and priestly role. Myrrh, another aromatic resin, was often used in burial preparations, foreshadowing Jesus' future suffering and death. After their encounter with the Holy Family, the Magi were warned in a dream not to return to Herod. Instead, they departed for their home country by a different route, effectively thwarting the king's murderous plot. This decision to disobey Herod's orders demonstrates the Magi's reverence for the Christ child and their willingness to defy earthly authorities in order to protect him. The visit of the Magi is a pivotal moment in the Christmas story, marking the first time the newborn Jesus was acknowledged and worshipped by non-Jewish visitors. This event has long been seen as a sign that Jesus' mission was not just for the Jewish people, but for all of humanity. The Magi's journey and their humble adoration of the Christ child have inspired countless works of art, music, and literature over the centuries. Despite the limited information provided in the Gospel of Matthew, scholars and theologians have long pondered the deeper significance and symbolism of the Magi's visit. Some see the Magi as representing the universal appeal of Jesus' message, with these learned men from the East recognizing the divine nature of the Christ child. Others interpret the Magi as a foreshadowing of the future spread of Christianity beyond the Jewish community and into the Gentile world. The gifts brought by the Magi have also been the subject of much theological reflection. The gold, frankincense, and myrrh are often seen as prophetic symbols of Jesus' identity and destiny. The gold represents his kingship, the frankincense his divinity, and the myrrh his future suffering and death. These rich, symbolic offerings have become deeply embedded in the Christmas tradition, with nativity scenes and holiday decorations often featuring the three wise men and their precious gifts. Moreover, the Magi's journey has been viewed as a powerful example of faith and devotion. Despite the challenges and risks involved, these learned men were willing to undertake a long and arduous voyage in search of the newborn king. Their willingness to follow the star and offer their worship and tribute to the Christ child has inspired generations of believers to emulate their example of faithful, committed discipleship. In the end, the Magi's visit to the infant Jesus remains one of the most captivating and mysterious elements of the Nativity story. Their identity, origins, and motivations continue to be the subject of scholarly debate and speculation. Yet, their appearance in the Gospel of Matthew serves as a powerful reminder of the universal significance of Jesus' birth and the diverse ways in which people from all walks of life have been drawn to worship and revere the Savior. As we celebrate the Christmas season and reflect on the Nativity story, the Magi's journey invites us to ponder the profound mysteries and timeless truths that surround the birth of Jesus Christ. Their example challenges us to approach the divine with humility, wonder, and a willingness to follow where the Spirit leads, even if the path is long and the outcome uncertain. In doing so, we too may encounter the transformative presence of the Christ child and offer our own gifts of worship and devotion.